6 and 8. Remember, I couldn't find that Bible verse where I was talking about the beast gonna start getting in on the action. Let me show y'all that. This is from last night, what I couldn't find. Since it was last night, I'm gonna start there first. Revelation chapter 6, verse 8. All right. Let me start at. Let me see. Let me start at 1. Let me just break the ground. All right. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as if it were the noise of thunder, and one of the 4 beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Okay? And that they should kill one another. Okay? So this here is in the works. Taking peace from the earth and people killing one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. That means there's going to be a lot of killing going on. A great sword. Okay? All right. Number 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat thereon had a pair of balances in his hand. Black horse balances. You know, the Most High hate unjust balances. Okay? Verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine." All right. Verse 7, then I'm going to get to 8. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death. Why do they always associate death with black? Look. Huh? Why they always associate black with death? A pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him. And power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So the animals going to start killing after a while. The animals going to get in on the action. The animals going to be part of the judgment. Hunger and famine are going to be part of the judgment. Death and killing going to be part of the judgment. The balancing of the scales going to be part of the judgment. All right? Said they have a pair of balances in the hand. Part of the judgment. Balancing of the scales. All right. Now let me get into tonight's lesson. That was where I left off last night. All right, let me get into tonight's lesson. Let me see here. Let me just start right here. Revelation 13. All right. Let me start at 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw, remember, we in the end times. And I stood on the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. Okay. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet was as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. These are characteristics of the previous beast. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Let me show you in Daniel chapter 2, Daniel chapter 7. Leopard, bear, lion. Let me go to Daniel chapter 7. That ain't, let me see here. That's Daniel 2, ain't it? Let me see, Daniel chapter 7. Hold on. I got another Bible. Okay, Daniel chapter 7. All right. And Daniel spoke and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, 4 winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, different one from another. The first was like a lion. Okay, he got the characteristic, the mouth of a lion. All right, had eagle's wings, and I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made to stand upon his feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second, like unto a bear. Back over here. The feet of a bear. All right. Let me see. Right here. And it was raised itself up on one side and had 3 ribs in its mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said, thus unto it arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard. Same thing, leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl, and the beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. This is the Greek captivity right here. The 4 heads, after Alexander the Greek died, his 4 generals took over his kingdom. Then it turned into the Roman kingdom. All right. Now we're getting into the Roman beast. The beast that was not, and yet is. Let me see here. They tell you that Rome is dead. They tell you Rome is dead. It might have failed, but it's not dead. People thinking Rome don't exist. I don't know what this is. I'm just doing an audible. 8 reasons why Rome fell. Let's see. Invasions by barbarian tribes. Economic troubles. What the Western nation got now? Economic troubles. Now they ain't got to worry about invading Roman barbarian tribes, immigrating. They're allowing the immigrants to come on over to keep that economy going. When you're not reproducing, they ain't got to invade. Now you let them in because your economy gonna collapse because you ain't got enough people to keep it afloat. I'm just doing it in today's term. Economic troubles. They printing over here. They printing money out of thin air. Okay, the rise of the Eastern Empire. Okay, think about China. Think about China. It's in the East. Look, I didn't even plan this. I found this on accident, and I'm just showing you what this means to me, how it can pertain to today's time. I ain't talking about rise of the Eastern Empire, rise of the Chinese, rise of the Russians, rise of the North Koreans. Now you can go read that yourself. Okay, over expansion and military overspending. They doing that now. All these military bases, all these over expansion. Let me see. How many USA OVER. Look. Let me show a video. I'm gonna see what it is.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop.
Right
and we're the Antonellis.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because we earn.
Of course, they got to get their money. I ain't gonna knock their money. Let them get their money.
Man learned that the best formula for victory was compounded of striking power, mobility, and self-protection.
The U.S. is easily the most powerful country to have ever existed, and it certainly spends more on its military budget than any other country does today. That's all pretty well known. But less well known is the fact that the US has around 800 military bases around the globe. This map can't even show that many dots. These are just 200 or so dots to give you an idea of where these bases are clustered. These bases are everything from massive military compounds to small airstrips in the middle of the ocean. If you combine all the foreign bases that every other nation has outside of its own borders, you get a total of about 30. There's never been a country with such a massive global presence. And the big question is, how did these bases get there in the first place? And how much is it costing US taxpayers to keep them open? Most of these bases cropped up after World War II, when the US set up in places like Germany and Japan to help maintain peace after an era of intense global war.
But we cannot expect these people to discard Nazi ideas with the casual air with which they abandon their uniforms. Slowly, steadily, they must be taught the fundamentals of democracy. Our task is to supervise this training in democracy.
Even though these countries are now stable, robust democracies and allies, the US still has 50,000 troops in Japan and 54,000 in Germany. The Korean War brought an influx of American infrastructure into the Korean Peninsula, where we now have 28,500 troops stationed. The Cold War made the US expansion to every corner of the globe imperative to US strategic goals.
Here in Russia, you see the reason why we are spending billions of dollars in defense production. Why your family is paying the highest taxes in our history.
But even now that the Cold War is over, there's not a place on Earth that's not still covered by US military influence. This includes everything from naval compounds like those in Guantanamo Bay, to small drone bases like those in the Horn of Africa, to little-known posts in the middle of the Indian Ocean like that of Diego Garcia. And it's not cheap. Keeping U.S. foreign bases open costs taxpayers between 70.
I want to comment on Diego Garcia. That's where they kicked them black folks off their land. They kicked the black. They call it the Chagos Islands. Don't you just love how the Europeans get together and start renaming stuff, erasing and renaming? That's why they kick the black folks off their land and put a base there for the Queen. Diego, no, that's Chagos Island. I'm gonna show y'all right after this. I'm gonna let them play.
Cheap. Keeping U.S. foreign bases open costs taxpayers between $70 and $100 billion per year. That's more than any other government agency receives in taxpayer money, besides, of course, the Department of Defense itself. Taxpayers pay between $10,000 and $40,000 more per soldier stationed abroad than they do for those stationed here domestically. But this cost seems to be worth it to most lawmakers. The idea that U.S. military leadership provides an indispensable stability to the globe is now a fixture of our global strategy. And
how is they bringing stability to the globe? Come on, family. The propaganda is thick. Who they bringing it for? They're bringing it for them, I guess. But all right.
Our foreign policy.
In an uncertain world full of breathtaking change, the one constant is American leadership.
You can't have stability without American leadership. There's only one nation in the world capable.
We see how they lead us. Burn, burn, burn. I'm going to just repent and get out the way. Make sure I don't get none of these heathens' judgment. I suggest y'all do the same. Burn!
Of rallying the freedom-loving people of this planet to confront evil.
American leadership is not just respected, it is required.
How did they lead during the pandemic? How is they leading in rehabilitation due to their own mass incarceration? How is they leading in that? This ain't nothing but propaganda, okay? Rhetoric, okay?
So over the past 70 years, the U.S. has set up bases all over the world in response to threats, and then they just never left. These 800 bases.
In other words, they colonized. That's right, Kaya. Burn, 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 baby, burn.
Around the world represent a massive system of military power that isn't often talked about. And it's us, the American taxpayers, that are financially supporting this. We have all decided that it's worth it to pump $100 billion out of our economy to keep these bases open on the far corners of our globe.
Let me see, can I find that Diego Garcia. Let me see, can I find that? I'm gonna show y'all that they renamed it. I might have. Anyway, I'm gonna show y'all. You can rewind this video back. Diego Garcia. Let me see here. Okay. Let me type this in. Let me read this. Go ahead on that panhandling. I see you, DSB. Hold on. Hold on. They sure knocked you out, didn't they? Darn. Oh. All right, look. Chagos Island. Okay. Diego Garcia, they're going to give it a Spanish name, is an island of the British Indian Ocean Territory. How you own an ocean? Anyway. Oh, I was wondering, was them black people homes burning? I heard about the fires, Kaya. Yeah. I was wondering. That's why we got to make sure we do what we supposed to be doing, because the Most High, he will get us first. He done showed the world he'll get us first. But yeah. All right. But look, British Indian Territory, a disputed overseas territory. Now they done went over there. Why is it disputed? Because they took people's land, kicked them out, and put a darn military base there. Darn devil. And you wondering why they dropping like flies and having trouble reproducing. Is a militarized atoll just south of the equator in the central Indian Ocean. But the Bible said they were going to take over the earth, so we can't be mad. We got to handle ourselves accordingly, in a line with the scriptures, according to the will of the Most High. The Bible said this was going to happen, so we got to deal with it. All right? We can't go out here, what they call that? We can't go out here, do anything breaking the Bible, breaking the word of the Most High, misrepresenting the Most High. That's why we in captivity in the first place, misrepresenting the Most High. All right? Now this ain't no slave teaching. Somebody threatening your life, you take them out. You're ready to go to jail and sit there and let them just kill you. You send a message when they die. You send a message back to them. When you fight for your life, you send a stern message to quit messing around with black folks. Better to go to jail than sit there and, even if they do kill you, you take some of them devils with you. They want to meet their daddy. Take them to meet their daddy. All right. The Portuguese were the first Europeans to find. How you gonna find an island when black folks already? See, I can't deal with these folks. That's why I don't hang around white people. I can't deal with that mindset. Like everything, it belongs to them. They found the island with people already there. They found the Americas with people already there. I can't deal with these folks. I don't tolerate all that crazy talk. These folks is crazy. These folks are psychotic. The mass majority of them, all of them know. Mass majority of them, you say, how can you say most of them are psychotic? Because they go right along with it. They go right along with it. And they benefit from the death, hell, and destruction that they people cause. So yeah, they psychotic. All right. But anyway, I showed y'all. Let me show y'all some more stuff. They renamed it, took it over, renamed it. That's what they do. These black folks was protesting this. Here you go, right here. They want their land back. Look, never mind the Negroes now. Never mind the Negroes. They done took this land from black folks, renamed it, put a military base there. Look here. We the right to live in our homes. That's decolonized. That's why I can't. I don't hate them. I just rather go on somewhere else and let them just do what they do. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I don't hate them. I can't fool with. I can't act like everything cool when it's not. All right, let me get back. Let me get into my lesson. Where was I at? I was in the History Channel. All right, overexpansion in military, overspending. I think they're doing that. Okay, another overspending. It might not necessarily be military, but they giving all this money to the Afghans, to illegal immigrants, to Ukrainians. They're giving all this money. The economy is amok right now. You got natural disasters over here hitting their pockets. Okay, they got an epidemic amongst themselves that they don't want to talk about. That's hitting their pockets. Let me see if I can see any more parallels. Government corruption and political instability. I just covered that. Don't worry about them white folks. Let them do what they do. At least they up front with their racism. Kaya, at least they up front with their racism. I got more respect for them. But what I ain't gonna do is sit there and congregate with them. I'm gonna go on somewhere. They're gonna get out of my face or something else. But I got more respect when I know you my enemy than you sitting around hide. All right. That's right. Many of our land was taken over. Okay. I don't know how I don't know how I got on this, but I'm here. Government corruption and political instability. Government corruption. Okay, create a lie. I need to do a video about that, showing y'all that the whole war on drugs was a lie. I've done a video, but it's been like 5 years ago. The whole war on drugs, they created it out of thin air. Then flooded our streets with drugs to get us hooked, so we would no longer be a political threat to them. You ain't worried about voting because you're worried about getting high. You can't get seats in the government because your kids are going to jail. We locking your children up. We ain't got to worry about them getting political because we putting charges on them, getting them in the system. We creating a prison school of prison pipeline. Why is the United States in political instability? Because they will not do right. You can't expect the devil to do right. Evil in and of itself is unstable. Can I get a hallelujah? Evil in and of itself is unstable. Think about it. You can kill folks, but there's consequences and repercussions for killing folks. They can kill you. They can kill your family. The Most High can kill you. Evil in and of itself is unstable. And this country is doing nothing but evil. And it's unstable. So, yeah. Burn, baby, burn. All right. The arrival of the Huns and migration of the barbarian tribe. Okay. The arrival of the immigrants. Yeah, because y'all ain't reproducing. So y'all voluntarily let these folks in. All right. All right. Number 7 was Christianity was the cause of the fall of the Roman Empire. Let me read this. Loss of traditional value. I'm interested as in what is traditional values. They said this was I wonder what kind of this must have been the real people of the Bible. This must have been the real people of the Bible. Let me see. The decline of Rome dovetailed with the spread of Christianity. And some have argued that the rise of a new faith helped contribute to the empire's fall. The Edict of Milan legalized Christianity in 313, and it later became the state religion in 380. Yeah, they colonized it. Let me go. I'm gonna go into that next. They colonized, for lack of a better word, the gospel. How about that? They colonized the gospel. That's what they done. Let me give you some examples of how do you colonize the gospel? Okay. You whitewash the images. Let me see here. I was writing this down this morning. You whitewash the images. First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. Let me go back over. First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. This is how you colonize. And it's written in the word. Let me see. Is Maccabees in here? Let me see here. Let me see if Maccabees in here. Nope, it ain't in here. All right, I'll do it this way. Let me show y'all. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to take my time. First Maccabees 3 and 48. Okay, that's right. Cuckabug. You from down south, ain't you? All right, let me see here. Maccabees. Okay, Maccabees. Let me show you how this written up in the Bible, how they colonize the scriptures. 3 and 48. First Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. And laid open the book of the law, the Bible, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. White Jesus, anybody? White disciples? Huh? Uh-oh. Come on in. Come on in, Mikael. You in here? Speak your mind. He might be in a bad area. Let me keep going. All right. Look here. And laid open the book of the Torah, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. They brought also the priest garments and the first fruits and the tithe and the Nazarene. I don't know what this word is. Let me press on it. Nazarites. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Let me close this out. All right. And they stirred up who had accomplished their day. Okay. The heathen, it's white people. Did they not take over the so-called gospel? The Bible is a Hebrew book about Hebrew people. How did they become Europeanized? They opened the book of the law and painted themselves in the scripts, and they took on priestly garments. I'm looking at my other screen over here. It's going. Okay, it's going. Okay. All right, let me see. All right. Verse 50. They cried. Then they cried with a loud voice toward heaven, saying, what shall we do with these, and whither shall we carry them away? But all right. Let me get back over here into my other message. Let me see what Mike. Maybe he can't get in. Let me see. Can I? Did you? Hey, what's going on, Mike? Huh? Oh, okay. I guess he ain't okay. All right. I probably should have left him out. He probably handling some business. Y'all got to keep in mind them brothers working. All right. Now let me go back to where I was at. I said, how do you colonize the gospel? Okay. This is how you colonize it. You go to some images. Right here. And again, I'm not picking on nobody if you don't understand. I'm not, that's between your faith is between you and the Most High. Okay? Your faith is between you and the Most High. They translated the biblical names through 5 white languages, whitewashing the names, and gave us white pictures. These are facts. The Yiddish Hebrew is one European language because it's mostly German, but it uses Hebrew letters. Okay. Your second white language is Latin. Your third white language is Greek. And then down in the English. And English has changed, like 4 or 5 times. Okay, let me see. Let me get my math right. Hold on. English is one language. All right. Greek is one language, is another language. 1, 2, 3, 4 white languages. The Yiddish Hebrew, that's why you got an E there instead of an A. All right. The Yiddish Hebrew, then you got the white Latin language, the white Greek language, and then you got English. All right. Now, the reason why you shouldn't, but let me continue. Let me continue. Where was I at? I was in the History Channel. How else did they colonize the gospel? That's why they accepted it. They figured out a way how to undermine. The Edict of Milan legalized Christianity in 313 and later became the state religion in 380. Okay. You changed the calendar. You did away with the feast days of the Most High. And you put in these colonizer days, these Hellenized days where you can keep your money going on. These holidays keep black folks broke. They keep us broke. Okay? What else did they do? Let's see. They changed the calendar. This is in the book of Daniel, changing times and law. They colonized everything. That's why they legalized it after they colonized it. All right. These decree ended up, I just showed you how they took over them folks' island, changed the name. They took over these lands, changed the name, renamed black folk. This is what they do. All right. These decrees ended centuries of no, it didn't end no persecution, y'all. This is a lie. Y'all need to check out this documentary, Reclaiming the Throne, if y'all haven't. Y'all need to check this out. You can go right along, get you a history book, and walk it right on down. You can walk it right on down. Let me show the trailer.
What is the root issue for that hatred towards our black brothers and sisters? The Lord woke me up kind of in the middle of the night, and he answered that question. And the answer was, because of my chosen people.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to Jerusalem with great slaughter. Many outrages and atrocities were committed against the remainder of the people. It has been estimated that over 1 million Hebrews fled into the interiors of Africa from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Hebrew slaves.
To reconnect to your history, you need to do 3 things. 1, you need to redefine who the children of Judah are according to the old references. Not from the 1900s and newer, because those books tend to have a totally, completely different history in those books. So you have to ask yourself, how did we lose this in history? How did you lose 400,000 people in history? And the reason why I say how did you lose 400,000 people in history is not in the books.
Many people in today's time, many Israelites who don't know their heritage or who they are looking back.
Now it is up to us to have eyes to see and ears to hear.
Now streaming on Fearless. Start your free trial today.
Okay, I didn't know it was on Fearless. It was on Tubi. But then, nevertheless, y'all check that out, Reclaiming the Throne. You get your history book. These folks is hiding everything. The gig is up. All right. Remember them video where they come up with them torture tools? How did it end persecution and we being persecuted? The real people. All right, but they may have also eroded the traditional Roman value system. All praise to DSB. The traditional Roman value system. Pedophilia, homosexuality, the Roman value system. All right, Christianity displaced the polytheistic Roman religion. Paganism. What they did was they watered down the word so much that it's paganism. Yeah. Okay. All right. Roman religion, which viewed the emperor as having divine status. See, there you go, right there. This ain't biblical. This is the Antichrist, and this is the beast right here. The beast, the false prophet. One died, Satan raised up another, or another one take his place. How about that? And also shifted focus away from the glory of the state unto a sole deity. All right. Meanwhile, popes and other church leaders took an increased role in political affairs. Well, the Roman in its inception was political, further complicating governance. Now, the beast that was not, had the wound that was healed. The 18th century historian Edward Gibbon was the most famous proponent of this. Oh, it's a theory, so they can't even. It's a theory. That means it ain't really even proven. So I just wasted y'all time just reading this about why Rome fell under Christianity. But I showed y'all that. I showed y'all the lies. I showed y'all that it ain't true. They colonized everything. All right. May have played. Look, while the spread of Christianity may have played. It didn't say it played a role. Curbing Roman civic virtue. Most scholars now argue that its influence paled in comparison to military, economic, and administrative factors. All right. The weakening of Roman legions. You know something? America got all those military bases worldwide. They not reproducing. They legions gonna be weak. They recruitment is down. Yeah, recruitment is down. Yeah. Yeah, recruitment is down. Yeah. So the Roman legion, their legions is being weakened. Yeah. Yeah. Their legions is being weakened. All right. All right. There you go. There you go right there. Let me get back into my lesson. Y'all can feel free to read that yourself. I think that's why I heard it first at DSB. I think I heard it from Lisa. Yeah. I think I heard it from somewhere in the black media. But yeah. All right, let me close this out. All right, let me get back over here. Now, let me close this out. Close that out. Close some of these tabs out. That's how they colonized it. They colonized it. All right, now, let me get into my lesson. Let me get back to it. All right, Revelation 13:2. Oh, yeah, let me start back over here. All right. Look at here. Okay, I just showed you, I gave you that they got some of the features of the original beast, other beasts earlier. All of it is Babylon, okay? And I saw one of the heads as if it was wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. See, the one part of Rome was wounded and people think it was dead. All right. And they worship the dragon, which gave power. If you worship any of these, if you worship in your police department, you worship in your military, you worship in anything on this earth, you was following after the beast. I don't care what country you from, what military you might be a part of. If you missing anything, if you worshiping this stuff, guess what? You following the beast. Oh, you'll bag the police in no matter how much evil they do. You'll bag the American military. They go over there killing children, men, women, and children, stealing and raping and pillaging. Yeah, you following after the beast. Ain't no country on earth gonna survive when the Most High do a makeover. Let me show y'all something. First Peter 3:10. But the day of Yahuwah will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So he's gonna burn up this earth. You can kiss America goodbye. You can kiss the European Union goodbye. You can kiss United Nations goodbye. You can kiss China goodbye. You can kiss Russia goodbye. You can kiss the whole continent of Africa goodbye. You can kiss this whole earth goodbye. You can kiss it goodbye. Y'all love it. Y'all go down with it. Burn with it. That's what your allegiance is. Burn with it. Take it to hell with you. Yeah, take it to hell with you. Because there's one thing about it. These nations are going to be trying to fight against Mashiach in Revelations. Let me see here. Marriage supper. Yeah. Let me see. Revelation. What was that? Revelation. Let me see. Nations shall mourn. Let me see what that verse said. It's in Revelation. Because of him. Nation mourn because of him. Let me see. My mind going blank now. I'm all right. I'm not claiming that. It's in one of them early chapters of Revelation. Is it 2 or 3? Let me see here. Y'all bear with me. Okay, hold on. Let me do it this way. Let me type it in the computer. That's about right. Revelation 7. It's in there early. It's right there when you get in Revelation. Behold, he is coming with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, and even those who pierced him. All the tribes of the earth will mourn because of him. Like I said, everything on earth, every nation on earth, they ain't gonna be happy. They ain't gonna be running nothing. Remember, he will break the nations in pieces. Revelation 1 and 7. Oh yeah. Payback. Yeah, I see your comment up there. Well, let me see here. Now, let me pray. All right, Yahuwah, which way? All right. Which way do I go now? I'm way off script. All right, let's go to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. We'll get back to this colonization of the scripts. Hold on. Back to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. I didn't mean to do that. Wisdom of Solomon, 14. Hold on. Wisdom of Solomon. Here you go. No, it's Song of Solomon. Hold on. Chapter 14. Okay. Verse 15. Here goes some more colonization of the scripts. All right. For by the vainglory of men, they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he has made an image of his child, soon taken away, now honored him as a god. Elohim is God, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. There go your Pope and white Jesus right there. Caesarea Borgia. Colonization. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. First Maccabees chapter 3, we just read that. Verse 48. All right. Thus in process of time, a wicked custom grown strong. Now the world is going after this image that this Pope put out there. Thus in a process of time, a wicked custom grown strong was kept as a law. They followed the laws of white Jesus. White Jesus had killed them Negroes. White Jesus had colonized the earth in the name of white Jesus, in the name of Christianity. Colonize the whole earth, kill everybody, put yourself there. And white Jesus said he with them. All right. But the Bible is against all of that. Thus, in process of time, a wicked custom grown strong was kept as a law. Remember, they created a law to put us in perpetual slavery. Engraven images was worshipped by the commandment of kings. The Pope also is a king. I just showed y'all that in the previous thing about the history. The Pope also is a king, y'all, whom men could not honor in presence. Yeah, because he dead. Because they dwelt afar off, they took the counterfeit of his visage, the counterfeit image of this God, false God that the Pope created. From far, they done put white Jesus. You got white Jesus all the way down there in Brazil. White Jesus in Africa. The big old statues. Look, whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt far off. They done took them all over the earth. You even got the ship named Jesus. And they took the counterfeit of his visage from far and made an express image of a king whom they honor. Who they call white Jesus? King of Kings. It really ain't funny. I'm laughing because I see this is the scripture is literally screaming. The Bible is screaming. Whom they honor to the end, that by their forwardness they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present. Let me show y'all. For a father afflicted. Let me see if in the Hebrew. Yeah, they got a slave ship named Jesus. Let me see. Wisdom of Solomon 14:15. Let me see if a Hebrew don't put up a meme. Let me see if a Hebrew don't put up a picture. All right, let me see here. Wisdom of Solomon. $14.15. Somebody done put it up. That's who your Jesus made out of. The Pope's son. There you go, a wicked man. And they done took him all over the earth and honored him as a god. There you go. There you go. Anyway, look. That's why he look effeminate. That's why he look effeminate. Look at it. Look at him. Look at him. What's masculine about that? What's masculine about that? I told y'all that Roman culture is LGBT. Some of it. Here go the other verse I read earlier. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. 1 Maccabees 3:48. Whitewashing. Job 9:24. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. So covering them. Covering them with this. What's up, Yahuwah's kingdom? All right. Let me see. Let me see now. Which way do I go now? In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. Okay. All right, let me go to Daniel chapter 7. It looked like a wet noodle. Let me see. Daniel chapter 7. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been on the plantation. I ain't had to work too hard. Hey, I was awakened about 11 o'clock this last night. I ain't had to work too hard. I just started taking notes. Yeah, that white Jesus is effeminized. That's why he get along with everybody. They don't show him. Notice they don't. I'm yet to hear a Christian preach about white Jesus beating folks out the temple. I'm yet to hear Christians teach that white Jesus is going to be feeding people to the birds. He feed Revelation. He killing all his enemies. His clothes going to have blood on it. He going to feed his enemies' dead bodies to the birds. But this is what we get though. This is what we get. We get white Jesus, y'all. Looking like somebody said a wet noodle. This is what we get. That's why he on that picture. That's why he on that thumbnail. Let me go back over here. Let me get back. Let me get out my tirade. Hold on. Daniel chapter 7. Let me see here. This is describing this beast. Okay. Let me go on down to the end. All right. Let me describe this fourth beast. Notice one but four beasts gonna rule. All right, right now we waiting on the Ancient of Days to come and judgment to give into the saints of the Most High. And the time came, the saints possessed the kingdom. Let them tell it. The saints already possessing the kingdom. Let them tell it. So this is telling you that the Most High's people are being oppressed. That's what this is telling you. We always waiting on justice. We waiting on judgment. In order for that to be justice, it's got to be some kind of judgment rendered for justice. Remember the four horsemen, the black horse had scales in his hand. The one that sat on the black horse had scales, balance, judgment, justice. All right, was given to the saints of the Most High, and time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. All right. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom on earth. Okay, now let me do this. All right. Let me do this to help people better visualize. Going after his statue. Going out this statue. Let me see what this is. It look like he got the different beasts. I'm just curious as to what they got for the beasts. Nice imagery, nice graphics, but let's see about the truth. Roman. Okay. All right. Nevertheless, Greco-Roman. Let me see here. They done got the Greeks all the way up with the in the Bronze Kingdom. Hold on. Let me see here. This will do. This is more like what I'm looking for. All right. One but four beasts. This is still wrong. Okay. They just using a political and a religious front. It's still wrong. Still four beasts. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's get back to the script. All right. The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be different from all kingdoms. It's different. It's different. Definitely different. Religious and political. All right. And shall devour the whole earth. They're going to eat up the whole earth. Come on now. Come on now. They're going to eat up the whole earth. And better yet, let me give y'all this. Why is it referred to Babylon in Revelation? Huh? And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nation fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before Yah to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Why is if Babylon ain't, why is it referred to Babylon in Revelation? Lining right up with Daniel, right here, lining right up. The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth. This is Babylon. All of this is Babylon. All of it. That's why, let me show you. That's why you got that Tower of Babel up there. Why did Romans want to make think about this? Why would the Romans want to make a copy of the Tower of Babel? Huh? The Europeans. See, these folks is mocking the Most High. And for any of y'all out there, y'all be careful what y'all say about the Most High. Be careful. If you don't understand something, I suggest you just keep your mouth closed and don't say nothing about the Most High. It's a special place in hell for anybody that's speaking against the Most High. It's a different judgment. Now, if you don't know, now you know. If you didn't know before, now you know. All right? That's a special. These folks is mocking the Most High. See, why they want to make a Tower of Babel? Babylon. They babbling. All these nations. Right here in Genesis, the Most High scattered the nations, the bloodline, all over the earth. Now in Revelation, look, they gathering the nations. Language is no longer a barrier. Now they are gathering. Now they done spread over the whole earth. The people are becoming one again. And they're picking up where they left off in Genesis. Remember, they were talking about going up. They were talking about going up into heaven to wage war on the Most High. In the book of Genesis, Nimrod was the ruler. But Nimrod, y'all do know Nimrod was a black man, right? He was a wicked black man. They're gonna whitewash this too. They're gonna whitewash. I'm telling you, this is what these people do. Let me see. This is what they do. Nimrod is a descendant of Ham. Black folks ain't nowhere in the Bible. Let them tell it. See what that does, that trains people to get used to seeing white people leading everything. I wouldn't have a problem if they were doing right. I wouldn't have a problem with that. These folks are leading folks to hell. That's where the problem come in at. That's right. Everybody was black. That's right. Let me show y'all that Nimrod was a black man. Hold on. Let me show y'all. I ain't gonna just say it. Let me show y'all. Let me see here. Nimrod. Nimrod was a black man. Cush. Okay, let me show y'all Genesis chapter 10. I'm going to show y'all Nimrod was a black man. All right. Y'all know Ham. They always talking about the curse of Ham, which is a lie. And these Bible theologians going to be held accountable for that lie. That's what they excuse for enslaving black folks. Ham was cursed. There's no such thing as the curse of Ham. There is not. We went over that, a couple days ago? All right. But the sons of Ham, Cush. Ham is a black man. His oldest son was Cush. Okay. And Cush begat Nimrod. There you go. Case closed. These folks don't want to see Negroes in leadership, boy. Negro leadership must worry them to death. But guess what? The scripts describe the Most High and his people as black. That's what the scripts say. That's the problem for y'all, not me. All right, now. Yeah. Let me get back on track over here. Let me see here. Nimrod. They don't want to get the impression that black folks, rule anything or built anything, or that we are just completely inept to be intelligent, even though we are the original people. Okay? Now, let me get back over here in Daniel chapter 7. Okay, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be different than all other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. That's exactly what they done. And I just showed y'all that video where the United States got over 800 military bases. They doing what they want to do with the earth. Treading it down, breaking it in pieces. Because they got dominion over it. They got the kingdom. Look right here. We still waiting to possess the kingdom. Right now, the heathens got the kingdom. All right. All right. Let me see. Let me see where I'm at. Okay. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings, which shall arise and shall rise after them, and another shall rise after them, and shall be different. Even the kings going to be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings. Look, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. Yeah, we don't know who y'all. Yeah, how you speak against the Most High? You attacking his people. You saying another people is the people. You speaking against the Most High. How you attack the Most High? You whitewash the Bible. You is working against the Most High. You teaching the whitewashing of the Bible to the nation as you colonize and slaughter them. You speaking great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. Mass murder, mass incarceration, creating slavery, enslaving, making a law to enslave black folks forever, perpetual. and think to change times and laws. Okay. The calendar, you done changed the calendar. You done changed the laws. Now Sunday is the new Sabbath, and you can live any kind of way and go to heaven. That ain't in the Bible, family. All right. Then the saints, the Most High's chosen, shall be given into his hand until a times and the dividing of time. Okay. Now, let me see where I'm at now. Hold on. Let me show y'all this. Revelation 17:4. Revelation 17:4. Look like I'm about to bring it to an end. How long have I been going? Oh, man, I've been going an hour? 17:10. I should have did it. I should have typed it up here. Hold on. Let me show y'all this Bible verse. Let me show y'all this. Scarlet and purple. This is kind of like a review, but it ain't. I never teach it the same way because it ain't scripted. I'm not going by a specific plan. I was trying to show y'all that they did. Let me go to the Bible verse. Revelation 17:4. Hold on. Revelation 17. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stone and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abomination and the filthiness of fornication. The colors of the Roman church, red, and they got all kind of gold and stuff they done stole and pearls, purple and red, bishops and stuff. Yeah. There you go, right here. Her one right here. There you go. Scarlet and purple. That's the woman is this apostate church. Yeah, time for, yeah. I didn't know I've been sitting here an hour. But anyway, let me see here. Let me see. I'm going to go to Wisdom of, no, I went to Wisdom of Solomon. Let me go to 4th Ezra. 2nd Ezra 12:11. Let me close this out. Close some of these tabs out. Okay, Maccabees. Okay, I need to go to Ezra, 4th Ezra. 2nd Ezra. Okay, I'm in the wrong book. Right here. 2nd Ezra, chapter 12. I'm going to show y'all chapter 11. I'm going to go over 11 a little bit. Now, this is the description of the fourth beast. That's why you got the eagle. Let me show y'all this right quick. Let me show y'all. Where is this at? Right here. Okay. That's why you got the eagle up there. These old Easter eggs is the paganism. Okay. The eagle represents the Roman. Look, that's the Roman eagle. They go the Roman god. The beast that was, they tell you Rome ruled at one time. It is not. They told you it's dead, and yet it is. And I'm going to show you that it's still alive. Your military, Roman machos, Roman military machos. Semper Fidelis, that's Latin writing. That song I played at the beginning of the video is showing you the Roman writing on the money. Your House and Senate is a Roman-style government. All these European nations got Roman-style governments. It yet is, right here. Yet is. It's still alive. What before beast till Mashiach come? is still alive. Look, speaking great words against the Most High. Easter, Ishtar eggs, paganism in the church, a false god. Under the control of the Roman Empire. The European Union, see, that's a nest right here. A nest of Romans. The European Union picking up what Babylon left off at. All right? Let me get back over here. It's the reason why I got that like that. All right. Okay. And then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feather wings and 3 heads. Let me skip down. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 11. Okay. It's just showing you different stages of this Roman Empire, different rulerships. Okay. It's the timeline of this whole eagle. All right. That's right. Let me see. I'm scanning to see if anything I want to bring out. All right. This is Mashiach coming against this eagle. This is the end time. This is Mashiach coming against the eagle. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood, and I saw he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou that remaineth of the 4 beasts whom I made to reign in my world? So the Most High gave the beast rulership of the world to bring it to an end, to judge his sons, the fallen angels, and the wicked people among our ranks. All right. Now notice this. Let me see. Notice this. You got 4 beasts. You got 4 seasons. Winter, spring, I should say spring, summer, fall, winter. That's really the way it goes. Because when the Most High created the earth, spring was the first season. Life was springing forth. Spring, summer, fall, winter. 4 seasons. Look, it's a timeline right here, family. Do y'all know what time it is? It's about to be a wrap. Huh? It's about to be a wrap on these heathens. I know they got 5 there, but it's the same thing. It's a divided kingdom. Yeah, that's another thing. They want to burn the book right now. You can't even teach the history. And on social media, they'll ban you for telling the truth. Call it hate speech. All right. Okay, a divided kingdom. Hold on, divided kingdom. Let me see. Daniel. Nope, not chapter 5. The kingdom shall be divided. Let me go to Daniel chapter 2. Let me go to Daniel chapter 2. It's going to be Daniel chapter 2. I'm just going to show you another parallel. I'm all over the place, family. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. All right. 41. And whereas thou saw the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. It done, look, the kingdom shall be divided. They done took over the whole earth. Let me show y'all. Look, that's why it's divided right here. The land is divided. Remember, I just did I ain't want to go there. Remember, I just read Bible verses showing you that they're going to devour the whole earth. Let me click on this one. I should have read it, I guess. Let me try this one. Going to devour. This is why the kingdom is divided. The land is divided. Okay? I don't care if you go down here to Australia, they got Latin, Roman mottos under their military. You go over here, you got some of the same. You go here, wherever these Europeans is ruling, wherever these Romans are ruling, their military got Roman mottos. Let me see some images over here. Don't know what I'm gonna get, but look at this stuff. Army Rangers. Look, Latin mottos. All this. This is Latin right here. The beast that was not, and yet is. Look at this. Just look at it. It ain't dead. Simplified that Rome ain't dead. The Roman eagle. They just done camouflage themselves, but I just pulled the cover off. Most High showed me what to do. This right here, I think this is Canada here. I think this is Canada. These same people colonized the whole earth, family. All right? I ain't got time for all these ads. Let me get out of here. I ain't got time. But this is Canada. Let me see if I click on the image. Okay. This is Canada here. That's Canadian. I know it is. I know Canada got them. How about that? I might be off. But yeah, this is a worldwide phenomenon. Now look right here. Look right here. Think about your police when they come out in riot gear. They got a big old shield and they armored to the teeth and they got weapons. Huh? And they hate Negroes. Huh? All right. Let me see. Let me get back on track here. All right. Whereas I saw the feet and toes, the kingdom is divided. Let me see right here where the land at. It's divided, family. But they rule in the earth. That's why. How you gonna have white supremacy? If you ain't ruling the earth. The world at one time, right now, they started to doubt their leadership because we're at the end of the book. But yeah, at one time, everybody was dancing to their music. All right? Let me get back in the script. The kingdom is divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. I just showed you a video where the United States got 800 military bases. They the same people, family. All right? For as much as thou saw the iron mixed with miry clay. Now, let me get back to Ezra. Ezra. Let me see. That's Genesis. Hold on. Got too many Bibles up here. Okay. Art not thou it that remaineth of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? The end of their times might come through them. Told y'all this is one big old clock. 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. Look at here. One big old clock. All right. Now, let me see. And the fourth came and overcome all the beasts that were past. The fourth, it doesn't overcome all of them. All right. And had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt upon the earth with deceit. They done had the whole world deceived with their lies. The whole world deceived with their lies. Much wicked oppression. Okay. How do you get a whole bunch of European nations to agree together to go down here and carve up Africa and divide all the money amongst white people and leave out the black folks that's there? If that ain't much wicked oppression, then what is? You go over here in Australia and kill off all the indigenous people, and then you genocide folks. Then you colonize the island. The Chagos Islands are somewhere in here. You run the black folks off these islands over here, build a military base, take their land. Yeah. Talking about you found the land with people living in it. You found this land, you found these Indians over here. You found this new land. This stuff is laughable. All right, let me see here. I'm going to bring this to a close. And so long time dwelt upon the earth with deceit. Lies, and more lies. For the earth hast thou not judged in truth. Remember, the black horse in Revelation had scales. Let me go back to that. Was it Revelation 8:13? Go back to Revelation 13. Revelation 13. Hold on. Revelation 13. The Most High gonna balance these scales. Anybody out here that want that name that's written in the book of life, this is a cease and desist. You ain't got to. Well, if you're written in the book of life, you're gonna cease. If you ain't, you just gonna go to hell wide open. All right, let me see here. What was it at? Was it Revelation 6? Let me see. Hold on. Let me type in scales. It's probably going to balances. Let me see here. Let me see. All right, black horse. That's all I got to type in. Yeah, they're going to pay. They're going to pay. Right here, Revelation 6 and 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I saw the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands. You have not judged with truth. Okay. Daniel chapter 5. Let me go to Daniel chapter 5. Show y'all some more scales. Daniel chapter 5. Daniel chapter 5. Let me shrink some of that down. I don't know how I done that. All right. Let me see here. Y'all remember that they took the Most High's things and started drinking out of them? Okay, hold on. Let me see. I should have shrunk sit down some more. Ene, mene, tekel, upharsin. Right here. Y'all remember the handwriting on the wall in the book of Daniel? This is the interpretation. See, they were drinking and going on, giving praise to all these gods. Here, I'm gonna read the interpretation. This is the interpretation of the thing, meaning Yah have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and found wanting. Okay, Revelation. The black horse had a pair of balances in his hand. All right. Now, thou art weighed in the balances and found wanting. All right. Second Ezra. Thou have, for the earth hast thou not judged with truth. No justice, no peace. All right. I'm just showing you the fallacy of this kingdom. All right. But look, thy kingdom is divided. The Most High gonna break up this kingdom. And he gonna and guess what? The saints gonna receive the kingdom, not the Medes and the Persians. See, this was Babylon. This was Babylon being conquered right here. But this time, Babylon gonna be destroyed, and the saints gonna receive the kingdom. All right. Belshazzar. There goes some balances. Telling y'all, when y'all see scales, y'all be, hey, you get out the way now. Belshazzar the king, this is Nebuchadnezzar's son, made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. Notice his name, Baal. Baal, a pagan god. He's named after a pagan god. While he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the gold and silver vessels, which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple, the Most High's temple, which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes and his wives and his concubines might drink therein. They done disrespected the Most High. See, they disrespected the Most High. He'll let you slide for a little while because he got an agenda. He'll let you slide. He'll let you build yourself up. And then people going to look by and say, man, the Most High wasn't playing with it. He wasn't playing right there. Those who have eyes. But yeah, let me go back to the second Ezra. Yes, sir. All right. Let me go to the next chapter. Let me keep going. For thou hast afflicted the meek. Black folks still willing to forgive these folks. They still, afflicted the meek. What about all them natives that offered you peace? You come over here, murdered, raped, and stole everything. Thou hast afflicted the meek. Thou have ruled with much wicked oppression. Where is that at? Over the whole compass of the earth, the fourth came and overcame the beasts that were past and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. So long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. Okay. I lost my place. Okay, you afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou have loved liars. They love liars. And destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit. And cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. That's these devils. That's them. That's y'all Europeans. You gonna own it and repent, or are you gonna deny it, get mad, and bust hell wide open? It don't matter. It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. You can deny it and bust hell wide open. It don't matter to me. I'm just showing you the gig is up. All right. Therefore, appear no more, thou eagle. Yeah. Let me type in some eagle nations. I know you'll get some that's, but I just want to show you eagle nation. Russia got an eagle too. The United States got an eagle. Roman eagle. Let me just type this in then. Roman eagle. Hey, look. Nazi, German eagle. But anyway, let me keep reading. Let me finish this. Let me go to the next chapter. Chapter 12. Second Ezra, chapter 11, 12, and 13 is definitely dealing with the end time. Second Ezra, chapter 11, 12, and 13 is dealing with the end. No, how this got so big? Hold on. All right. All right, here's the interpretation. The eagle whom thou sawest come up out of the sea, come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. Okay? Why? See, these same devils they colonized the scripture. They took out what they wanted to take out. They treated the Bible like it was a buffet. They treat the gospel like it's a buffet. They treat the gospel like it's Burger King, like you can have it your way. But it ain't going down like that. It ain't going down like that. Who these people Mashiach sending to hell talking about I never knew you? These are so-called church folks. Let me do a brief reminder. Who these folks he sending to hell if that homosexual looking Jesus they show us that's getting along with everybody? Who he sending to hell? Matthew 7:23. Many shall say to me in that day, Adonai, Adonai, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? These are church folks, family. That's walking around spreading the beast religion. These are church folks. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. See, they doing a whole bunch of wickedness. You're living wickedly. The difference is in trying to overcome a sin and just hitting the gas on the sin. There is a difference. Trying to overcome, trying to repent, and turn around and stop doing the wickedness. Than just saying, I'm just forgiven and keep on living like everybody else. There's a difference. All right. There you go. They think it's Burger King. Have it your way. These are church folks, family. All right. Now back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 12. Let me see here. I lost my place. Look at that look at this eagle getting burnt up. And I saw and behold, they appeared no more. The whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. I just showed y'all 2 Peter, the whole earth gonna be burned with fire. The whole eagle. The whole earth is under the control of the eagle. The Most High gonna burn the eagle. I just said that earlier. Then awake out of trouble and transfer my mind from great fear and said to my spirit. Let me go back to that Bible verse. Melt with fervent heat. The Most High gonna burn this whole earth with fervent heat. Second Peter something. Melt with fervent heat. 2 Peter 3:12. 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works there that are therein shall be burned up. Okay. And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more. The whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. Then awakened out of the trouble and transferred my mind, and from a great fear, and I said in my spirit, Lo, this hast thou done unto me, in that thou hast searched out the ways of the highest. Lo, yet am I weary in my mind, and very weak in my spirit, and little strength is there in me. For the great fear wherewith was I afflicted this night. Therefore, I now beseech the higher that he will comfort me until the end. In all thy ways acknowledge the Most High, and he will direct thy path. All right? Comfort. If the Most High directing your path, don't you take comfort in that don't you take comfort in his leadership. If not, you're going to ignore his direction anyway, and then try to come back later. But he is patient, but the Most High is not stupid. All right. And I said, Yahweh that beareth rule, if I have found grace before thy sight, and if I am justified with thee before many others, and if my prayer indeed be come up before thy faith, comfort me then, and show me thy servant the interpretation and plain difference of the fearful vision, that thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul. For thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last times. This is the end days. All right. This is the prophecy of the end time, but these heathens that sought me to take it out your Bible. The same people, let me see, is I still got it up here? The same people, the fourth beast, the same people that's running your churches is editing your scripture. The same people. How you gonna be the people of the Bible as y'all claiming and the oppressors at the same time? You got to be the beast. You got to be. You can't be the oppressors and the savers. They let them tell it. Let them tell it. They the oppressors and the saviors. They are the saviors and the oppressors. Come on, family. Huh? All right, let me move on. Do you see this all fit to take this script out? All right, this is second Ezra. Some of y'all Bible, it'll be fourth Ezra. Yes, sir, Jersey. Jersey doing it? Okay. Where's that? I lost my place. I'm going to have to start focusing, doing more concentration. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Okay, declared to thee. The eagle which thou saw came up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. Okay, let me skip down. It's describing the eagle. Y'all can read this yourself. Okay. I just lost my place. All right. And the lion whom I saw rising out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard. This is the anointed. This is Mashiach, the Messiah. Notice he is the Lion of Judah, which is the highest, have kept for them and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them. He gonna correct them. He gonna balance the scales and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. He shall rule all nations with a rod of iron. Revelation. And for he shall set them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and correct them. There you go. For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy. Those that have been pressed upon my borders, he shall make them joyful unto the coming of thy day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning. This is the dream that thou sawest, and these are the interpretations. Thou only has been meet to know this secret of the highest. Let me try to expedite this. Okay. Well, that was the interpretation. Okay. Y'all forgive me if I'm moving fast. Y'all read this. If y'all should want to read this. Y'all see the end coming. I'm missing stuff, okay? Y'all should read this. Y'all gonna pick up stuff. Let me go to 13. Let me go on to 13. I wasn't gonna do 13. Let me go to 13. 13 is Mashiach. Okay. All right. Now, as you read, all the other nations came up out of the sea. Now here come Mashiach rising up out of the sea. All right. And I beheld, and lo, and that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen unto him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Remember, the earth can be burned. Like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number, 4 winds of heaven, and subdued the man that came out of the sea. So the world is getting together to fight Mashiach. This is paralleling Revelation. Okay, this is paralleling Revelation. Hold on. Okay, let me see. Marriage supper of the Lamb. Y'all help me overcome this sleepiness. Help me. This will make my brain stronger in the future, though, having to go through this. All praises. This make me stronger. Let me see here. The marriage supper of the Lamb. Let me call it the fowls of the air. The flesh of kings. Okay. Flesh of kings. Okay, hold on. Right here. Let me go to the scripts. Let me see. View chapter. Okay. Look, right here. He calling the birds to eat up the people. All right, hold on. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the birds the birds that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings. He calling the crows, the buzzards. It's cleanup time. All right. The flesh of captains and the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses and them that sit on them and the flesh of all men, both free and bond. So they're going to have slaves fighting for them. What else is new? Since the beginning of time, people have had slaves fighting for them. Both small and great. Let me see here. He going that's a war right there, okay? That's a war. Let me go back. Let me see. Battle of Armageddon. All right. Let me go back. Let me go back. Second Ezra. All right. This is parallel in that verse. Revelation 19. Hold on. I done got it. This is paralleling, okay? All right, a multitude of men coming out of number from the four winds of heaven. They coming from all over the earth, y'all, to subdue the man that came up out of the sea. This is Mashiach. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. So he done made himself a mountain and flew upon it. Now I got to go to Daniel chapter 2. I got to go to Daniel 2. Got to go there. Daniel chapter 2. Got to go there. You worried about no sleep. All right. Right here. And in the days of these kings shall Yahuwah of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. The saints gonna possess the kingdom. The Most High is chosen. He ain't leaving his kingdom to another people. If you're grafted in, then you in. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, which shall stand, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest the stone cut out of the mountain, without hands, that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Yahuwah have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. The dream is certain, and the interpretation, this is telling you the Most High, where Nebuchadnezzar's statue at. The Most High, remember, he gonna he gonna destroy the kingdom. Let me see that stone. Let me go back and see, can I find it? Y'all a better image. Now it's time to upgrade the image. Hold on. Help y'all see this thing. Let me click on this image. Help y'all see this thing. Now keep in mind, this kingdom is a worldwide kingdom. Okay? Don't think Pebble. This is the worldwide kingdom. This is the world right here. This is the world. Okay? Now, let me go back. Okay, and I beheld, and lo, he had made himself a great mountain and flew upon it. All right. But I would have seen the region or place whereabout the hill was graven, but I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Now you got to hold the whole earth. Let me see. Well, let me close this. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my stuff together. Close some of this stuff out. The whole earth coming against the Messiah. The whole earth, but they are afraid. Think about that, family. They are afraid. The whole earth, the wicked, the one Satan has deceived. This represents the whole earth. This is Babylon. The whole earth that Satan has deceived. All right. All they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he saw the violence. They didn't come in peace. He neither lifted up his hand nor held sword or any instrument of war. But all that I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it were a blast of fire. Earlier, the eagle burned up. 2 Peter, setting the earth on fire. Setting the earth on fire. All right. He sent out of his mouth, as it was a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. Talking about roasting people. All right. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, the whole innumerable, a whole, you can't even count the people. Nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call up to him another people. These are the other tribes of Israel. Okay? These are the other tribes of Israel. Y'all study that out. All right, family. I think that's about all I got right now. Let me see. Yeah, y'all go over here. I usually upload the videos. If YouTube take them down, just go over here and go straight. I upload them over here, usually the following morning. Go over here. Go over here first, because sometimes I have to shrink these videos. Over here on this platform, I have to shrink them down. I have to do a little bit more work. Look at that. That's 3 hours and 10 minutes. I can't upload this video over here. I have to shrink it down. Okay? And then you'll probably get a better, clearer picture over here. A clearer picture. But nevertheless, y'all follow those links. Get a better. Follow those links. I don't know what I didn't hit. Okay, right there. Let me close.